this video, I will reveal Cyril Takayama's card and chopsticks magic on America's Got Talent. Here's a quick recap of what happened. Cyril began the performance by taking a pair of chopsticks out of its sleeve, convincing the audience that they are completely normal. He places them back into the sleeve and, using his shadow, slowly slides them out. Then he repositions the chopsticks and, using his shadow again, splits them apart. He then takes out a deck of cards and has Howie freely select any card and sign it. That card is then lost back into the deck, and, as he dribbles the cards, he sticks his chopsticks right into the dribble and pulls Howie's signed card out while being completely blindfolded. Cyril then takes it to the next level by asking Howie to place his signed card anywhere in the spread for the second time. He pulls out a wooden platter and asks Howie to hold it vertically with both hands. Then he grabs the deck fanned out in one hand and, with one chopstick, throws them into the air and stabs one card mid-air, which is revealed to be Howie's signed card, after he removes it. He performed a total of 3 tricks, and I will go through them one by one, starting with manipulating the chopsticks, using his shadow. You'll notice throughout the performance, a lot of jump cuts take place. For example, you first see a red box on the table, but right after a jump cut, the chopsticks are back in their sleeve and the box is on the side. Later, once the chopsticks are pulled out of the sleeve using his shadow, the sleeve is completely out of frame in the next shot. This doesn't mean camera tricks are being used. What I'm saying is that because of these jump cuts, several key moments that explain how he executed the illusion are missing. I'll make sure to address those as we go. In the first trick, although it may look like it's done with invisible elastic threads, but that's not the case here. The secret behind the first and second phases of the act involves the very table he placed the chopsticks on. It looks ordinary, but it is a specially designed table. Look closely at where the chopsticks are placed, then compare it to the moment they split apart, and you'll notice they're both positioned strategically above this gap, which isn't a mere coincidence. Right in that gap, 2 thin black metallic wires stick out, subtle enough to stay hidden from the audience. These wires are connected to a simple actuator system that allows them to move apart or reset back into position between each phase. The motion of the wires is predefined, with the left wire staying stationary while the right wire moves to one side, so when the chopsticks are placed on top, the left wire contacts the sleeve as the right wire shifts the chopsticks, creating the illusion of Cyril's shadow doing the magic. The same method is used to split the chopsticks apart. The 2 wires are reset, then by activating the mechanism again they move apart, one wire stays still while the other moves away, and they apply enough force to break the pair apart. This can also be seen in the slowed down clip, where you'll notice the right chopstick moves slightly faster than the left one, because as we know, the wire on the left remains stationary. In the second trick, where he catches the signed card, the method can actually be spotted if you slow the footage down. At the moment he reaches for the signed card, one of the chopsticks suddenly hides behind a black object, which appears to be extending out of the table, and from there you can see a card slowly emerging. But how exactly did the signed card get there? Well, here's what actually happened. Once Howie had selected and signed his card, which was of course a free choice, it was put back into the deck, and just when it was about to be squared up, you'll notice from the front angle, Cyril, trying to perform a card control, as he catches a pinky break, does something subtle with the deck, and then there's a jump cut, where the deck suddenly appears fully squared in his left hand. During that jump cut, he performed a pass that works like this, and positioned the signed card at the bottom of the deck, then palmed the card and placed it onto the moving black panel that slides out from a slit inside the table, and that slit is visible right here. After putting on the blindfold, although it appears as though his eyes were covered, that's not exactly true, as he used the nose-peeking technique to see exactly where the black panel extruded out of the gap and pull the card out with the chopsticks, precisely. Now for the third and final trick, he had Howie place his card back inside, but then we immediately see a jump cut, and now Cyril is having Howie hold the wooden platter. During this jump cut, just like earlier, he performed a pass, palmed the card, and was ready to load it, but the question is where exactly? Because in the slowed-down footage, the chopstick was never actually thrown, the card couldn't have been already impaled onto the chopstick he was holding, and instead he can be seen sleeving it into his left arm while mimicking the gesture of throwing it. An odd thing is that after the throw, the producers suddenly zoom in on the platter, and that's where you can clearly see something is off, as the chopstick toss doesn't actually match the moment the card appears. This becomes obvious when you see all the cards have already settled down on the table, and out of nowhere the card and chopstick pop out, while his right hand has already passed the board. Once again, the secret here lies inside the wooden platter, which actually contains a spring-loaded mechanism holding a chopstick under tension, with one end of the chopstick securely embedded into the spring structure, while the other is locked in place by a small servo-controlled lever. And once the lever is released, the stored energy in the spring launches the chopstick straight through a precise slit on the board. You can see it here in the original footage. The pre-built chopstick isn't actually wood at all. It's a thin, flexible metal piece that's been colored to resemble a wooden chopstick. This allows it to withstand the force from the spring-loaded mechanism without snapping. That palmed card during the jump cut was carefully loaded onto the chopstick before he hands the platter to Howie. That's why Howie isn't positioned directly behind the board, but slightly off to the side, making sure he doesn't get a clear view of the back where the loading happened. Behind this mask, only the truth remains, till we meet again.